Hey guys, Dave and Ben back at Roseanne's kitchen table, and you pretty much know more about movies than anyone that I know. Is that what does that say about the people I know?
I literally know hundreds of people who know more about movies than I do.
But you're paid to know about movies.
I got it, but some people know a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Regular people?
Regular people.
All right,
I have to look up a lot.
I thought that Ben knows a lot about movies. I'm still pretty sure.
I know a lot about movies.
You know a lot about movies. So one thing that I thought was really interesting is there's been a lot written in the last week or so about how 2014 was the worst year in the box office since 1995. And there's probably a gajillion reasons for this. I read a lot of theories. TV is back. Everyone's saying it's the golden age of TV again. The internet, apparently people are watching things on the internet, right? But I think there's probably more to it. So I wanted to get your take on what do you think's going on with the movies?
I don't think there is more than that. I'll be honest.
You think that's it? People just are not leaving home.
Yeah, and I think there's statistical noise. It wasn't such a dramatic drop. I think it was a little over 5% down from 2013. That can happen in any given year because you might not, depending on what kinds of movies come out. Next year, with so many highly anticipated sequels to properties that audiences cherish, I suspect the numbers will go back up.
Yeah,
but
we're going to do another video on that in a second because next year is going to be bananas. Yeah.
But I think that in general, I don't think this was a great year for movies. I think this was a really good year for the kind of movies that people don't see, and not a great year for the movies that are either Oscar contenders or many of the big sequels. They were, it was okay. It was ordinary. It was nothing incredibly exciting, and I think that's reflected in the numbers. You'd have to see another 5% drop in 2015 and a 5% drop in 2016 before you could say that this is a trend.
Right. So how much of it, though, do you think the movies themselves? Like right now, when I see, there's certain things that I want to see in the theater, like Interstellar. I was like, all right, that I obviously have to go see in the theater, and I saw it at the Chinese theater here, and it was absolutely amazing. Versus a a lot of the other things, it's like
TCL. Chinese
I know it's not
right,
that poor Grauman. He lost what's his name?
Sid.
They don't care about Sid anymore.
But they did an amazing thing to that theater. I mean, it's beautiful. They really restored it beautifully.
So there's certain things that you want to go to the movie theater for, right? And then there's others where I'm just like, it's just some little indie whatever. Like, why bother? Why would I have to leave home, pay $15 for a ticket, blah blah blah, when I can get it on Apple TV a month later for $1.99? So I think that's more of it than just.
I think that's some of it. I think that obviously if you make it comfortable for people to see stuff at home, some people will see stuff at home.
Yeah.
I think we look too hard for trends.
Yeah.
People have been going to movies since, the teens, and there's a collective environment there. People like to go out also.
Yeah.
And if people start staying in all the time to see movies, in a few years, they'll be like, what's great? Going out to a movie. Right. You could just as easily say, why would I pay $14.99 when I could sit at home? And they'll go, why am I just going to sit at home again on a Friday night when I could go out? I could have a meal. I could go out with my husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend or buddies and have a great time at the movies. So I think what is clearly incumbent upon theaters to do, and we've seen more of this in Los Angeles than in a lot of other places, is enhance the theater experience. Theaters, sometimes when I visit a friend, even when I visit a buddy in Las Vegas and I go to a movie in Vegas, it sucked. The theater, it's kind of, you can't see the dirt, but it feels dirty. And it's either too cold or too hot.
Sticky from the popcorn.
I hope it's the popcorn.
Yeah.
And
it depends what kind of theater.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And the sight lines aren't great. But the stadium seating in LA where you can buy your seat ahead of time and you can pick where you want to sit.
I still can't believe that, by the way, because I'm only 2 years into LA, that I can actually buy my seat and show up 1 minute before, and my seat will be waiting for me.
Yeah, totally. And I do that, because I don't like, when I go to a movie, I see a lot of movies, in the critic screenings. But when I do go to a movie, it's great, because I don't like to see trailers. I don't like previews.
Yeah.
I don't want to know anything about what's coming. So I like to get there. If a movie starts at 12:50, if it's a 12:05 show, I like to get there at 12:20. Right before the feature starts, and you can do that here. So I think it's incumbent on theaters to enhance that experience, bring the food up, make it more of an event rather than just piling people into a theater that was built to house people in 1977.
Yeah, so speaking of the event thing, I think actually for me the biggest movie event for me this year was I saw Birdman at ArcLight, which is a big famous theater here in LA, at the Dome, which is their it's a real it's a dome. Yeah, it's really cool. But what I thought was really cool about it was I saw it like the first week it came out, and it was so the whole movie's about LA and showbiz and blah blah blah, and that all the people in the audience clearly were in showbiz and all that. And I noticed that even the laughter reminded me of a comedy club. When there's a certain type of laughter that you hear live versus a type of laughter that you hear on television. So there was something so nice about that experience. So there is something that you lose if you don't see something with some other humans, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, and by the way, no question, the one thing you mentioned, the golden age of television, these shows are incredible.
Yeah.
The best writing right now is happening on television, not in movies. And nobody really cares about how some of the superhero movies are written in these sequels. And the movies, to me, they feel very similar.
Yeah.
I'm not a fanboy, and I don't begrudge the fanboys, but those movies feel really repetitive to me, really repetitive. And I think there may be some.
We got it. He was bit by a radioactive spider. I mean,
right. There's some sort of collective fatigue that we may have felt to that. But there's something about going to an event, a shared experience. It matters. Like I don't want these wonderful shows like when Downton Abbey just started this week, and and my wife was working on her computer, and I was like, come on, I don't want you working on your computer. Let's watch.
Yeah.
Like I want to laugh at people with her.
Yeah. Now, so you did watch Downton Abbey?
I watched Downton Abbey, yeah.
I will admit right now, this is pretty pathetic. I watched the premiere of The Apprentice instead of Downton Abbey. I have it waiting for me. I can't believe I just publicly, I don't know why. It's the only reality show I watch. I don't know why.
With a race-baiting piece of shit, Donald Trump, and frickin' Geraldo, like these retreads getting on television and working with NBC. What kind of shit? It's pathetic. It's pathetic. What's wrong with you, man? What is wrong with you?
It's a good question. What's wrong with me? Let me know in the comments right down below.